Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about seamless clothing. This is related to Hajj. When people go for Hajj, when they are doing certain ritual, they must wear two pieces of seamless clothes. As you can see here in the picture, like this one here, they're all wearing two pieces of seamless clothes. Look at this guy. Same thing. Have you ever wondered why they wear what they wear? Let us take a look from their own books why they do that. So I typed seamless cloth in Quran. This is an AI overview. Let us read together. In the context of the Quran and specifically during the Hajj pilgrimage, men are required to wear seamless white clothing known as ihram. This tradition signifies humility and equality before God, with no distinction between social status and wealth, according to Makarim hotels. I will stop there. That's when I typed seamless cloth in Quran. And, and then I typed different words. Some garment prohibited in Quran. Now again, this is AI overview. The Quran and Islamic tradition don't prohibit some garments in general, but they do have specific rules during certain types of garments sorry, regarding certain types of garments and situations. Specifically during the Hajj and Umrah, pilgrims are encouraged to wear loose and stitched ihram garments. I will just stop there. So now the answer is slightly different. And you see how Quran and Islamic tradition do not prohibit this. If you wear whatever you wear, you can wear. But now, why those people wearing the unstitched garments? I checked the answer from Islam Ka, Islam question and answer .info. Let us read together the answer. This is from supposedly a Muslim scholar. Let us read the answer together and laugh. Firstly, Allah has enjoined Hajj once in a lifetime for those who are accountable and who are able to do it and have the means. And He has made it one of the pillars of Islam, as is well known in Islam. So the Muslim has to do that which Allah has enjoined upon him to please Allah and obey His command, hoping for His reward and fearing His punishment, whilst trusting that Allah is wise in His laws and in all that He does, and that He is merciful towards His slaves, so that He would not prescribe for them anything but that which is in their best interests and which will be of great benefit to them in this world and in the hereafter. It is for our Lord, the sovereign, the all-wise, to issue laws, and it is for His slaves to obey and submit. Now, let's continue. Secondly, there are many reasons why it is prescribed for us to avoid sewn garments during Hajj and Umrah. For example, to remind us of how people will be on the day of resurrection, for they will be resurrected barefoot and naked. Then they will be clothed, reminding ourselves of how things will be on the day of resurrection teaches us an important lesson. It is it also makes us humble and makes us feel that we are obliged to submit and cleanse ourselves of arrogance. And it reminds us of the principles of rapprochement, equality, asceticism, and of keeping away from luxurious life which is condemned. And it is made us feel empathy for the poor and needy. And there are other aims behind doing Hajj in the manner prescribed by Allah and explained by His Messenger. And Allah is the source of strength. May Allah send blessings and peace upon our Prophet Muhammad and his family and companions. So that's the explanation. Why it is haram for the pilgrim to wear sewn garments. Now you can laugh. The answers have nothing to do. It has not explained anything. You still do not know anything after reading for several minutes. Because this sheikh has not given us any answer. This is crazy. And what is more crazy actually, according to him, this these things is prescribed by Allah. So Allah told people not to wear sewn garments during Hajj and Umrah. But then again, if you check sewn garments prohibited in Quran, according to AI overview, the Quran and the Islamic tradition do not prohibit sewn garments in general, but they do have specific rules regarding certain types of garments. The Quran doesn't talk about this at all. So it is in contradicts his answer. In his answer, as if Allah told people in Quran. Remember, Quran is from Allah. Hadith is not. If this is about equality and this is so important, why is it not in Quran? When we go to the Old Testament, we can find a couple of verses. It's not quite the same, but somehow um, touching the subject a little bit. Let us read Leviticus 19, verse 19. This is God speaking. Keep my decrees. Do not make different kinds of animals. Do not plant your field with two kinds of seed. Do not wear clothing woven of two kinds of materials. So let's say you have wool and cotton. They're not supposed to be sewn together into one piece of clothing because they have different material. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 11, let us read. Do not wear clothes of wool and linen woven together. That's that. And even this is not really talking about sewn clothing or sewn garments prohibited in Bible. The Bible also does not prohibit that. But even though the Old Testament doesn't talk about it either, you may wonder where these Muslims got it from. Because normally they will get it from the Old Testament. They just don't bother informing their followers that it is actually from the Old Testament. However, this one is not from the Old Testament. Let us go to the New Testament, the book of John, chapter 19, verse 23 to 24. Let us read together. When the soldiers crucified Jesus, they took his clothes, dividing them into 4 shares, one for each of them, with the undergarment remaining. The garment was seamless, woven in one piece from top to bottom. Now you see, this is the only source before the Quran, before the Hadith, before all kind of Shira and Tafsir. This is the only source that talks about one seamless garment, woven in one piece from top to bottom. So now we understand why they wear what they wear during Hajj and Umrah. Because they just copied from Jesus. I hope this explanation makes sense to you. So, in conclusion, Islam does not offer any explanation. If you want to know more about Islam, sometimes you have to read also the Bible, both Old Testament and the New Testament. Anyway, whether you follow the Quran, Old Testament, or New Testament, God bless you all. Have a nice life.